Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitching, geeky. I'm Cece, and I'm so glad you're here today. Today is Saturday, the 6th of August, 2022, and this is episode 488. I'd like to say a big welcome back. Love y'all to all returning viewers, and a big hi to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. This month, the end of this month, is 10 years that we have been podcasting. I can't even believe it. Dammy was 12 when we started, and they will be 23 in October. So, yeah, I have a lot of feelings. I know the podcast doesn't look the same as it did when we started. There's been changes and different iterations over the years. We've changed locations. We've added a new craft. We added a cat. My life changed. Dammy and I both came out. Yeah, there's been a lot. But I do want to just say from the bottom of my heart how grateful I am for each of you that are part of this community. There have definitely been days where this was my only community, and I'll never be able to express how much gratitude I have for the crafting community. And I'm just so grateful that I am a part of it. So, all right, y'all. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff on my desk. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. So we probably should go ahead and get started. Here we go. All right, let's talk about what is on my needles. First up in my cat project bag from Little Fish Stitches, I am working on Dammy's birthday socks. Dammy's birthday, as I said a while ago, is in October, or their birthday's coming up. It's in October. And I've been working on their birthday socks. So this is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern that you can find on our website, javapearldesigns.com. And as always, everything we talk about in this week's episode will be in the show notes, which is at ggkcs.com. I'm on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and I'm using Knit Picks Felici in the Beat Knit colorway. So here's sock number 1. I feel like it's making these oranges a lot different because they are much more, let's see. That's a little better. That's a little bit better. I think it's just the light coming in and whatever. We're having another heat wave here in Seattle, so I turned off the air conditioning so I could record for y'all. So here's sock number 2. I didn't intentionally make them matching color stripes, but that's just how it happens. I am dropping so Knit Picks Felici comes in 50-gram skeins. So it takes more than one versus like these skeins up here are 100-gram skeins. So this is the end of the first skein. And I am working on the heel. Dammy, I was trying to explain to Dammy the other day that I had finished the first sock and I was working on the second sock, and I was like, and I finished the toe and I'm going to work on the leg now. And then I was like, wait, no, that is not correct. I need to work on the foot now. And so now Dammy has been harassing me and saying, I really think you need to make me a pair of socks where you start with the toe and then do the heel. And I'm like, hun, that's not happening. That they know they're a knitter too. They know. Anyway, it's just been really funny because words. Here's another funny story for you. I could not remember the word apostrophe at work yesterday, and I was on the phone. I was on the phone with a lab asking for results for one of my patients. And the the patient in their first name had an apostrophe. And I was like, so I'm like spelling it because it was an unusual name. And so I was trying to spell it. And I was like, I can't think what this thing is called. You know, the thing that's on the key next to the enter key on your keyboard? And then the person at the lab couldn't think of the word either. And so then after I got off, we laughed. And then after I got off the phone, I'm like in my group chat to my work team. I'm like, could somebody please tell me what this is called? And we all laughed together because they know that I forget words with the fibromyalgia, the brain fog. So this is the other thing that I am working on. I scrolled too far. This is in my maker bag from Nerdbird Makery. And I am working on a Dust of Snow wrap. So this is a pattern by Curious Handmade Helen Stewart. I have not knit today's. So what I did is I went through and broke this up into 12 rows a week, and I'll be done by the end of the year. So that means I do 2 rows a day except for 1 day a week. And so when I finished yesterday, well, actually, when I finished, let's see, that would have been Friday. Thursday, when I finished on Thursday, I was at 65% done. So this is on US 6's 4mm needles. I'm not going to tell you all the yarn. This yarn is from an advent calendar that Silver D and some friends made for me last year. And I'm using it for this pattern. So that once I block this, it's going to really open up because there's lace. I cannot wait to be able to wear this. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. So I am currently knitting with color 16, and on Monday I'll be adding color 17. So this color 16 is this peach right here. Color 17 is this. So I am really, really enjoying this project. I cannot wait till it's done so I can wear it. I'm probably going to have Dammy block it at their place because I have a certain cat that will want to walk all over it. And it's going to have to be pinned out, and I also don't want to have pins out where she can access them because that would not be good. So I have to ask Dammy to block it for me at their place. So, all right, that's everything on the needles. I have a lot of FOs, so let's move on to the next segment. All right, let's talk about my knitted FOs. I do have cross-stitch ones as well that I'll show you in the next segment. So first we're going to start with my preemie hats. So this is for my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can get on our website, javapearldesigns.com. It's a free download linked on the website. This is on, all these hats are on US 6's 4mm needles. Okay, so we'll start and we'll just go through. This was number 27 for the year, and it used Barocco Vintage CK in the Cracked Pepper colorway, Vitellana Ambient Worsted in the Venezia colorway, and an Unknown yarn. Okay. Then this might be my favorite one that I have ever made in my entire life. The light is really, it's much more pastel in person. This is number 28 for the year. This used Dreaming Color Smooshy in the Melon Bomb colorway, Barocco Vintage CK in the white colorway, and Cascade 220 Fingering in the Azalea Pink colorway. So pretty. Love it. Loved that I did the pink as the bind off. So pretty. Okay, then we have number 29. This is in Barocco Vintage DK in the Cracked Pepper colorway and Earth Yarns Unique Fingering in the very descriptive 3014 colorway. Very pretty. All right, this is number 30 for the year. This is Barocco Vintage DK in the Cracked Pepper colorway. You can tell I use that a lot. Knit Pinks Felici in the Bookshop colorway, and Pandia's Jewels hand-dyed yarn tweed in the Sleet colorway. I like that the tweed picked up on some of the colors in the Bookshop. And finally, number 31 for the year. This is Barocco Vintage DK in the Cracked Pepper colorway and Stranded Dye Works BFL Nylon Fingering in the 4224 colorway. Very, very pretty. A lot of these colors are leftovers from knitting on the Dust of Snow Wrap. So when I finish up with the Dust of Snow Wrap with that color, it goes into my Preemie Hat yarns, which is that top shelf up there. That's all Preemie Hat yarns. So, all right. And then I had two other finishes besides that. One is my Pride socks. These are from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. You can find on our website, javapearldesigns.com. These are on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and this is Regia Perfect 4-ply in the rainbow colorway. And they do match perfectly because that's how the skein of yarn is made. So when you start with this yarn, you cut off a certain color that's like a different color than what's in the rest of the yarn. You cut it off and start there. And then when you get to, I finished this sock and then I wound off until I got to that color again, cut it, and that was the start of the second half of the skein to make them match. I should be able to do some shorty socks out of this too. I probably just need to do a contrasting toe and heel color. So I love how these turned out. I've not even worn them yet, y'all. I've been waiting to show you, and now they will go in my sock drawer. Pride socks. Love them. And then the other thing that I finished is a pair of shorty fingerless mitts, which is from a pattern that I modified. I did these on US 3s, 3.25 mil needles, and this is Earth Yarns Unique Fingering in that descriptive 3014 colorway. These ones are going to be for my nephew, Wyatt. Now, I know, if you remember, I knit a pair already that I said were for Wyatt. However, Wyatt loves, his favorite color is rainbow. And so the ones that I knit before, which are the same size as these, and use the same yarn, it only, though, has just the reds and the greens kind of in it. Whereas this also has the teal and the pink and the yellow and the burgundy. And so I felt like Wyatt would like these ones better. So I'm going to give my other nephew, Waylon, the other ones. So, because they're the same size. I made them the exact same size. So, yeah, I consulted with my mama, who lives next door to my sister and her family. And she agreed with me that Wyatt would probably like these better and Waylon would probably like the other ones better. So there's that. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knitted FOs since I saw you last. And I have 2 cross-stitch FOs as well to show you. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. Okay. Let's start with my 2 FOs. So if you've been around or follow me on social media, you know that I am cross-stitching an ornament every month this year. And I took we got this booklet from a Black Needle Society box by JBW Designs, Judy Whitman. And there are maybe around 20 patterns in it. So I did do some other ones. I did some Mill Hill at the start of the year, but now I'm like just working my way through this book. And I'm doing all of them on 14 count Mill Hill white perforated paper. I don't know if you can hear the airplanes. Normally we hear the fire truck sirens, not airplanes. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's very loud. Hopefully you can't hear it. Okay, so this was I haven't FFO'd these yet. I haven't FFO'd any of them. I'm going to wait and do them all at once. This was July's, and this one is called Snow Tree, and I used 4 different colors of sulky thread for it. And then for August, this one is called Trees in a Tree. And I used 2 different colors of sulky thread for this. So those need to be FFO'd, but that gets me caught up until beginning of September. All right, let's talk about my 3 whips that are sitting here. First up this was from the Autumn in Stars Hollow box from the Black Needle Society, and I've just left the project in here. Let me just put this picture up on the screen because I think that's going to be the easiest way. So this is the pattern. This is Summer in Stars Hollow by Katie Landis, the Black Needle Society. I'm stitching it on 18 count white Aida using the Called For DMC and the color conversion by Forbidden Fiber Co. for the fancy flosses. And here's where I'm at. That's upside down, Cece. Here's where I'm at. So Autumn is right here because I'm doing these as all 4 pieces connected. So we have the 1,000 Yellow Daisies. This is Miss Patty's Dance Studio. To Be With You is from the theme song. We have a guitar for the Town Troubadour. We have the stoplight because there's one stoplight in that epically long crosswalk light. Ice cream for Ice Cream Queen. VHS tape because they watch a lot of movies. Okay, then down here is going to be Lorelei's Jeep. You can see I've done some balloons already. This is going to be the gazebo with the Lazy Hazy Crazy Day singers are going to be in here. And it connects to the gazebo over here. So this is the other half of the gazebo. And I'm trying to remember. Because I'm using Pattern Keeper for this. I want to say I'm around like somewhere in the 60s, maybe like 64%, 67%, somewhere in the 60s complete. I really, really want to have this done before I go on my trip to the UK in October. So I have I think it's 10 weeks from today is when I fly out. So I want to finish this before that. So I'm loving how it's turning out though. And I cannot wait to see the spring and the winter patterns. But we must wait for the retreats. Okay. Then next up in my to bed or to sleep project bag from it's an Outlander inspired project bag that I had made for me by Stitch Toolbox. And I am using Still City Stitcher 16 count Aida in the Crimson Peak colorway for the fabric. And I'm using Forbidden Fiber Co. in the River of Life colorway for the floss. And this is the pattern. I modified it. I didn't do any of the alphabet or the numbers. I took this piece down here and inverted it so it would be mirrored on the top. So there's the pattern. And I'm stitching 185 stitches a week on this, other than I'm not planning to take this to the UK with me. So I did the maths and I'm doing 210 stitches a week right now so that it will make up for the 2 weeks that I miss. So here is where I'm at. I have not finished this week's stitches. I've done about half of them. So it's really hard to do this one-handed or like hold it up and try to explain. So I still need to do the other flower over here, which is like this one, and bring the border down. And then down here, this is all where that big urn is. So that. And then I've got the words and then that mirrored section on the bottom. I am still so in love with my stripy deer. I love how this is turning out. It's so pretty. And it's the first time excuse me, I have the hiccups, that I've stitched something like this. So I'm really enjoying it. I will get the rest of this week's stitches done probably tonight on this, and then jump back into Summer in Stars Hollow. Okay, finally in my Winnie the Pooh project bag from Knit Run Dig, we have Edinburgh Castle, which is a pattern by Terra Luna Stitchery. They rebranded. It's massive. 624 by 426. There's the fire siren. Everything that I'm using for this is listed in the show notes at ggkcs.com. I'm doing this as my 25/7 piece, which means I stitch on it. The minimum is 25 stitches a day. I try to do 25 minutes a day instead. Sometimes I do more because sometimes I just get like really close to finishing a color in a block, or really close to finishing a block, or like it's the end of the week, which is Friday for this. That's the end of the week. And I'm like, oh, I would really like to have like a completed square before I post it on my feed. I post daily in my stories on Instagram. Yeah, so here's where we're at. As you can see, things have slowed down because there are a lot of floss colors. So this is right here. Oh my gosh, I need a third hand. This is right here where I'm working. And as of last night when I finished, because I've not stitched on this yet today, I was at 76,320 stitches out of 265,824 complete, which puts me at 28.711% complete. And I've completed 14 full pages. I can't remember where the 15th page ends. I think it may be like right here. So I only have just a little bit more. But you know, obviously since I'm doing diagonal. But I'm not counting a page as finished until I complete everything on it. And then the rest just goes towards the next page. So, my back is not very pretty, as you can see. I mean, it wasn't bad when I was doing like 1, 2, 3 colors, but yeah. Can you see all of that? It's a mess. I don't care. I'm making this work. I've never done a project this big before, but I'm in love with it. And I've been encouraged to make plans for doing the last stitch at Edinburgh Castle. When will that be? Not this year, not next year, probably not the year after. We'll see. Like I said, once I get here into the castle, the number of colors just explodes. Over here, it was like super fast because it was like 1, 2, 3 colors maybe. Here, you know, there might be 50 colors in one 10 by 10 square. So, that is Edinburgh Castle, and I am not going to take this either to the UK when I go visit. So I'll be taking a couple weeks hiatus on it. I've done a full year of 25/7 on Edinburgh Castle, And I think I'm somewhere in the 90s of year 2 of stitching on it every single day. So I will take a couple weeks off when I go on my trip and then pick it back up and just continue on. So, all right, y'all, that is everything for FlossTube. However, there is more cross-stitch content in upcoming segments, so you should stick around. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, yummies. Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about. Yummies. So first up, I got the June and July yarns from Fangirl Fibers Gilmore Girls Club. I am getting the 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon fingering weight, 100 grams, 400 yards. So June's color is more saturated than what you're seeing. That's a little truer. This is In Omnia Paratus, which is season 5, episode 7. And then July's has Pink Pearl's hair on it. Is Ice Cream Queen from season 4, episode 1. And it's like this kind of pale yellow natural with pops of pink and blue and yellow and purple and green. Very, very pretty. Yeah, so love that. Okay, next up, Knit Crate. This is the July box, maybe? We'll go with that, July box. Yeah, it is. This is the theme was Sunscape. Dammy and I share an Amazon account, and Dammy's groceries just got delivered. Sunscape was the theme. This yarn, y'all, it really is that rich of an orange. This is a Vitalana Silhouette by Knit Crate. It is 50% superwash merino, 50% tencel, fingering weight, 100 grams, 400 yards, and this colorway is called Sailor's Delight, and it is so soft. Oh my gosh, this one, most of the time I put these yarns into our price bucket. For y'all, these may have to stay with me. My second favorite color, orange. First, pink. And then also with it, they always send us some kind of goodie. There is a Knit Crate backpack. So that will go in the prize bucket. Knit Crate gifts us these boxes, and we share them with y'all. They also give us a coupon code. So if you use the code GEEKY20, GEEKY, and the number 20, you'll get $40 to spend on your first month off of any Knit Crate subscription. So that essentially means you pay shipping and handling for most of the boxes. If you remain a Knit Crate subscriber for 3 months, you'll also get a special gift code that gives you another $40 off your 4th month. And our link is knitcrate.com/geeky20, GEEKY20. All right. Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2022 issue. You can see there are only 4 tabs here. I went through this again this morning so that I could mark what I wanted to show y'all. There wasn't a lot. My very favorite pattern, this one. Really, this is like the 9th time. And that is by Barbie Law of Twisted Willow Designs. It is 66 by 49, and it cracks me up so much. It's so funny. Okay, next one I wanted to show you. Okay, this is for my Whovians. Don't blink. Don't even blink. Weeping Angel. This is by Karen Bowen of KEB Studio Creations. It's 41 by 110. Okay, this one I have mixed feelings about. Okay. I love this design. I think it is so adorable. I hate the color palette that they used. I feel like it looks too like schoolroom primary colorish. So if I were to stitch this, I would change the color palette completely. I think it's such a beautiful, beautiful pattern. But I don't like the color palette at all. Pattern is by Kathleen Berlew. It's 103 by 103. So I do love the pattern though. And how adorable is this one? Look at that hedgehog pulling a wagon of candy corn with a witch's hat on. This is by Nancy Waller of Faithworks Design. It's 39 by 47. And it is so adorable. You do need a small golden star button, 5 tiny candy corn buttons, and 2/8 of an inch black round buttons. It is so cute. So cute. Okay, I'll open up here and show you the project gallery, because there are a lot of patterns in here. There were only 4 that were my cup of tea, with one of them having a caveat. I purchased this. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, the Summer in Stars Hollow Gilmore Girls Black Needle Society retreat, I won some prizes, which I feel like was like karma making up for things, because at the Autumn in Stars Hollow retreat, I won nothing. This time I won 3 prizes. Okay, don't tell Dammy about this, because I really want to stitch this for them. Mermaid. Now, this is by Rovaris. It is 165 by 57, but it's not full coverage, so why do I want to stitch this for Dammy? When Dammy was little, they wanted to be, when they grew up, a mermaid. And they are obsessed with the Little Mermaid, the Disney movie. So I really, really want to stitch this for Dammy. It even comes with the charm, is it a sea serpent? And lace. Oh no, it's a mermaid. It's just a very stylized one. Wow. So it comes with the mermaid charm and this lace right here. I really want to stitch this for Dammy. Will I get it done before their birthday? Probably not. I won a sheet of stickers from Liz Matthews. And I won Sakura by Autumn Lane Stitchery. This is a big one. 197 by 260. So those were my prizes. And then speaking of the Black Needle Society, we got a box. I did do a full unboxing of this on the YouTube channel. If you want to watch me gush about it for longer, then I'm just going to show you stuff. So this is the Christmas in July. Oh, good. I'm not behind on the photo challenge. So they do a photo challenge. I thought this one started August 1st. It does not start till the 11th. So I'm okay, because I will take all of my photos at once and then just post them each of the days. Okay. Let's talk through these things. So these go together. So I'm going to show you together. There's wrapping paper with cross-stitch stuff on it and gift tags. And these were both done by Heather Gretton Art. They're called Season for Stitching, which is super, super cute. I actually have some Christmas presents sitting on my shelf that I might wrap with this. Okay. We have a pair of candy cane fuzzy slipper socks. These are curated by the Black Needle Society. We have this lollipop that I cannot wait to eat by Hammond's Candies. We have this adorable needle minder from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. It's a gingerbread house. We have, I think the socks were in there. We have our specialty floss, and it's Threadworks, and it's Christmas themed. I have not looked up the names of these yet. I need to. This is 01087, so it's red and white. This is 010140. It's a blue. It's darker than what it's showing. This is 010602. It's also green, and it's also darker than what's showing. My dryer's going off. And this is 411231, and it is sparkle. So I have a feeling I will use these in a Christmas ornament at some point. I do like Threadworks. I've stitched with their stuff before, but I need to look at the names. Okay. Let's do this next. So this is a finishing kit from Lady Dot Creates. It's called Silver and Gold, and it has charms in it. Like, see, there's a snowman. It's got ornament hooks, and it's got all kinds of ribbons. I will definitely be using this for FFOing all those Christmas ornaments that I'm making. How perfect is that? Okay, we have to give a huge gush of love to Forbidden Fiber Co. because the original fabric dyer for this box was not able to complete the order. And so in a very short amount of time, Leanne and her staff pulled this together and dyed fabric for this box. Thank you, Leanne. Okay, this is Glacier. This is a 1/8 of a yard of Ada Zweigart 14 count. Very, very pretty, very neutral. So something special will be going on that. And I love this community and the way that people step up and help in situations like this. And then the final thing, let me just make sure. Yep. I'm getting paper, confetti paper all over me, is the pattern. This is a Snowflake Quaker style by RETM. Never have heard of this designer before, and I am in love with this pattern. It's so pretty. It is 131 by 131. In my unboxing, I was saying you could do this a few different ways. You could pick a really special fabric and let the floss be more muted so that the fabric pops. You could flip it and have a more neutral fabric and let the floss talk, or because it's all in one color. The other thought I had was you could do multiple colors. You could do, for example, this motif in one color all the way around, and this motif in one color, which could be really, really cool. It's very, very pretty. So that was Christmas in July from the Black Needle Society. Full disclosure, I do get the every other month boxes for free because I am a rep for Black Needle Society. What does that mean for you? You can save 5% on everything in the Black Needle Society vault with the coupon code JavaPearl5, JAVAPURL, and the number 5. What is the vault? The vault is where extras of stuff that's in the boxes go after everybody who subscribed to the boxes get their box. Sometimes there are full boxes in there. If you're interested in getting the every other month box, you can join the wait list at theblackneedlesociety.com. And that is everything for Yummies. So let's move on to the next segment. All right, now let's talk about what we're reading, watching, and listening to. Just a reminder that our year-long RAL read-along continues. The challenge is for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. By participating in the seasonal RALs, which right now we're in the July, August, September, you earn entries into the year-long challenge. And next year, which is not that far away because we are in August already, we will draw for 3 grand prize winners from all of the entries. Okay, I have read a lot more books than this, but I just wanted to highlight just a few books that I've read since I talked to y'all last. First up is Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake. There does need to be trigger warnings in this book, such as sexual abuse, lack of consent, rape, trauma. If any of those things would make you not want to read a book, then this book's not for you. The premise of the book is there is a set of boy-girl twins, and the girl's friend accuses the male twin, of rape. They're high school age students, and yeah, it was a very, very emotional but very well written book that I would recommend. Next, we're going to talk about Sky Falling, Skye, by Mia McKenzie. This is a very interesting book in that this young woman, she's not, well, she's approaching 40. I'm older than that, so it's younger than me, but still. But when she was 26, she donated her egg to a friend to try to have a baby, and then lost contact with this friend, and now the 12-year-old that was born, I think she was 12, 12, shows up, and there are some really funny parts, but it's also just, it was a very moving book, novel. Okay, if you wanted to read something just for the hilarity of things, and it's very short, but it was so funny, it's called Your Guide to Not Getting Murdered in a Quaint English Village by Maureen Johnson, and Jay Cooper is the illustrator, and there are lots of illustrations, and it's so funny. I don't even know how to explain it other than it warns you of things you should be aware of so that you don't get murdered if you're in a quaint English village. It was so funny, and it was super fast to read. I don't know if it says it's 128 pages, but it's like there's illustrations on almost every page. So it was just so funny. It cracked me up. And then this book moved me in a way that it's one of my top books of the year. It's called Love and Saffron, a novel of friendship, food, and love by Kim Fay. And it's set in the 1960s. And these two women meet. A 27-year-old, she sends a fan letter to a 59-year-old woman who lives up here in the Pacific Northwest. The 59-year-old writes a column for a magazine. and they become friends. And the food, the relationships, it brought me to tears more than once. And it is, like I said, it is it's up there probably in my top 3 books of this year. So, Love and Saffron. Okay, so those are the books I'm going to tell you about. What have I been watching? A lot of things. But I'm watching episodes of Law & Order Special Victims Unit for the That's Messed Up in SVU podcast, which is not safe for children at all. Rewatching season 3 of Gilmore Girls with the I Am All In with Scott Patterson podcast. I'm watching there's still more episodes. I'm watching season 2 of Only Murders in the Building. Such a good show. Such a good show. Highly recommend it. I finished watching season 3 of The Umbrella Academy. Powerful, powerful TV. Finished watching season 4 of Stranger Things. No spoilers, but holy crap. Holy crap. I finished watching season 3 of The Orville, which is a spoof on Star Trek. And I love how they, though, dealt with issues that we're dealing with right now. And it's humorous, but it's also poignant. And I really enjoyed it. I finished watching season 4 of Virgin River. Holy crap, did they end it on a cliffhanger. But season 5 is being filmed currently. And the author of the books that Virgin River is based on has written other books. And her name is, I believe, Robin Carr. And another book series that she wrote, which is called something like Sullivan's Crossing or something like that. Scott Patterson, who played Luke in Gilmore Girls, is in it. He's currently in Canada filming. Chad Michael Murray, who was Tristan in the early seasons of Gilmore Girls, is also in it. And I saw on the Insta today a picture of the two of them together. And it was very sweet. So I'm looking forward to that show because I've heard that it's going to be very similar to Virgin River. And then I watched an adorable movie last night, y'all, called Luck. It's on Apple TV. It's an animated movie, and it's about a young woman just turned 18, has been in the system without a family and never finds a family and ages out. And she is notorious for the bad luck she has. And something happens, she gets lucky, something happens, she's unlucky, and she ends up going to the land of luck, where there is good luck and bad luck that are mirror opposite universes. It was so funny, but it was also very sweet, very sweet. Highly recommend it. Luck. Very cute. And then listening to, as always, my favorite murder podcast, Glennon Doyle's podcast, We Can Do Hard Things, random playlists. Yeah. So that is some of what I am reading, watching, and listening to right now. Well, let's move on to the next segment. All right, let's talk about the June, July, and August. Summertime and the living is easy. Ow. This started on the 1st of June. It runs through the end of this month, the 31st of August. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew, embroidery, cross stitch, all of that's included, that you can convince us is related to summertime. Your caveat, your fallback, you made it in the summer. That totally counts. No whips are allowed. You had to start your project June 1st or later and finish it by the 31st of August. Every project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that is at least 20 yards counts as one entry into the giveaways. You post that in the FO thread in our Facebook group. If you have a project that's not at least 20 yards, group it in a single post with other items and then post that one photo, and that one photo will count as one entry into the giveaways. For stitching and sewing projects, we leave it to your best judgment. If you want official ruling, you can email us, ggkcspodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to polydip in other alongs, other owls, as long as it fits in with other rules. We have a Google form linked in the Facebook group and in the show notes, ggkcs.com, where you can tell us what crafts you do, so that if you're a winner, we give you a prize for a craft you do. If you don't fill out the Google form and you win, you'll get what you get. Prizes. Thank you so much to the donors of our prizes that are on the screen right now. If you would like to donate a prize for upcoming owls, you can email us at ggkcspodcast@gmail.com. The prizes for this time are sunflowers for Ukraine counting pens from Lady Dots Creates that I purchased to use as a prize, 2 skeins of Knitology Wisp yarn in the clay pot colorway, a holiday cat cross-stitch kit donated by Lori, and 2 skeins of Adine wool by Knit Crate interlock in the haze colorway. You have to be a member of the GGKCS podcast /FlossTube group on Facebook to participate. Make sure you answer the questions. What are the answers to the questions? Who's the mama, Cece or Dammy? Cece, that's me. What's the cat's name? Pink, like the color, or Pink Pearl, or Stinky Butt, or oh, look at this wee baby. And then the third question is to find the password in the rules and put it in there. If you don't answer the questions, we give you 24 hours and then we reject your or decline your membership ask. You can always do it again, but we're just trying to keep out any problem issues. If you want to post on social media, our hashtag is GGKCS Summertime22. We will lock the FO thread the morning of the 1st of September, and then I'll announce the prize winners on the podcast at the beginning of September, which should be like the 3rd or 4th of September. For any and all giveaways we host, you have 30 days from the date of the podcast announcement going live to claim your prize, or you forfeit it. If that happens, we will use that prize in a future giveaway. There is a chatter thread in the Facebook group so that you can encourage each other, talk about what you're doing as you desire. And people who have finished projects since the last time I podcasted are Andrea J, Emily R, Jane S, Jennifer BH, and Silver D. Great job, everyone. Make sure and get your items posted, your FOs posted, because you have a really good chance of being a prize winner. All right, let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for Ask the Geeks, the part of the show where you ask us questions and we try to answer them. This week's question comes from Penny. Penny posted this, I think, in the Facebook group. So there is an Ask the Geeks post there that you can post. So, background first, Penny says, I have only ever knit socks for myself. I wear a US shoe size 8.5. I use a size 0 64 stitch magic loop toe up. It's the only way I know how to do socks. Emojis. Anyway, I have found a long lost / long distance cousin and we've become great friends. She wears a US shoe size 6 or 6.5. I want to surprise her with socks, but not sure on the amount of stitches or the length of the foot before I start the heel. I know you have some different sock tools that might help. If you could demonstrate, help. So, actually what I'm going to do for you, Penny, is I'm going to give you 3 websites that I utilize when I am knitting socks for someone who is not my size. So, the nice thing is Dammy, my bestie Katie, her oldest son Noah, and I all have the same size feet, relatively. I wear like a US 8.5 to 9-ish. It just depends on the shoes. So, but when I'm knitting socks for like Katie's husband, Katie's youngest son, other people, especially when I was knitting them for growing kiddos, I don't know what size is what size. So, if you know your shoe size, though, it helps. So, There are two websites that I use that give measurements based on shoe sizes. So the first one I use, like I said, I'll link these in the show notes, ggkcs.com. The first one is the Craft Yarn Council. They have a foot size chart for baby, child, and youth shoe sizes, women's shoe sizes, and men's shoe sizes. So for example, we will just use the example of what Penny gave us, a 6 to 6.5 women's size. The foot circumference is approximately 7 inches compared to, what size did Penny say? 8.5. Compared to like an 8.5 would be 8 inches. So there's an inch difference. So you need to take that into account, Penny, that your finished size once they put it on needs to be around 7 inches, which is about an inch smaller than what you knit for yourself. A typical sock height for a US 6.5 is 6.5 inches. For Penny would be 7 inches. And a total foot length for a 6.5 would be 8 to 9 inches, where for a 8.5 would be somewhere between 9.25 and 10 inches. So those numbers help me figure out, okay, I need to, probably do, I would probably do for a US 6.5, I would probably do because you're doing it on smaller needles than I do, I would probably do about 58 to 60 stitches maybe. And then you can use the total foot length to figure out when you need to stop and put the heel in. Another site that I use, because my bestie and her family live in the UK. So when I text my bestie or FaceTime my bestie and I'm like, hey, what size shoes are the boys wearing now? And she tells me they are UK sizes. So there's a website called sizeguide.net, and it converts children's and baby shoe sizes from the US, UK, and European size systems. So I can take, if, for example, I don't know, they wore a UK 10, that is a US 11 in baby shoes. They have children's sizes, which they also include Japan in the children's sizes. And then they also have adult shoe sizes that have US, UK, Europe, Australia, China, and Japan. So that is a huge, if you're knitting for someone from another country. And then one that I use occasionally, it's called Socculator. And it is on the Knitting Fiend Diet Diary website, thedietdiary.com. And what you do is you enter your stitch gauge, so how many stitches per inch you knit. You choose what size shoe, US. If you don't know what size shoe and know the foot length and the foot circumference, which we could get from that first website, you put that in there and choose to make it go. And it will tell you how many stitches to cast on, how many stitches to increase to, etc. I'm trying to see if it says what size needle she uses. It doesn't matter. She says you might want to use one needle size smaller than recommended for your yarn. So that is a great tool as well if you don't want to, like at this point, I can kind of eyeball it and be like, oh, okay, I need to set that. This circumference is this. Okay, I'll just do that, or I'll add that. Okay, and it's all good. I also like when I knit socks for my bestie's husband. he doesn't like, I do a more, hey look, I have a pair of socks that I have just knit right here. I'm going to take it off the little doobopper. So I tend to do a little more pointy kind of toe. So I cast on 8 stitches on each needle and increase to 64. But he doesn't like as pointy as this. So I start with more. I think I start with maybe 12 on each needle and then increase to the appropriate amount. I also have on my phone, which I'm recording on right now, so I can't pull it up to kind of talk through it. I have a note saved where I will say, Dammy, this is the size I'm knitting for. I did this many stitches. It was this many rows in the foot. It was this many rows in the leg. And when I'm knitting for kids that are growing up, I will put the year and be like, in 2020, they were this size. So this is what I did. Because there's other kids growing, there's another kid growing up, and so I can kind of have that as a resource. But yeah, I have that note saved on my phone, and I utilize it all the time when I'm knitting socks to put the numbers in, because I don't eyeball the measurement on, like on the foot. I actually count the rows. And I'm like, I need 55 rows after I finish the toe before I start the heel, or whatever it is. So, Penny, I hope that is useful for you. Like I said, I'll put those links in the show notes, ggkcs.com. And good luck on knitting socks for your long-lost, long-distance cousin. I hope they turn out amazing. If you have a question for us, you can post it as Penny did in the Ask the Geeks post in the Facebook group. You can post it as a comment on any of our YouTube videos. You can email it to us at ggkcspodcast@gmail.com. You can send me an Instagram DM. And thus far, we didn't start doing Ask the Geeks when we started the podcast. I can't remember how long it was before we started doing this, but there has not yet been a question we've not been willing to answer. So feel free to ask about anything. We do reserve the right, but there you go. All right, let's move on to the next segment. And with that, we've made it to the end of the show. Thanks for sticking with me. I know there was a lot of stuff. A reminder about a few things. I am a rep for the Black Needle Society. Save 5% on everything in the vault with the code JAVAPRO5, JAVAPURL, and the number 5. We are continuing to co-host the Pride Along that runs through the end of July 2023. There is a YouTube video in the show notes that talks about it. Our hashtag is hashtag GGKCS Pride Along. We'd like to thank everyone who supports the podcast, no matter how it is you do. We are so grateful that you are part of our community. If you'd like to support the podcast financially, which primarily goes to shipping out prizes and then technology behind the scenes, there are a few ways you can do that. Patreon and YouTube Join are sites where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives and earn rewards or perks based on the level you donate at. To learn more and sign up, you can go to patreon.com/GGKCS or click the join button under any YouTube video. If you'd like to make a one-time donation, there's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our show notes. We are bookshop.org affiliates, which is a online bookstore with a mission to financially support local independent bookstores. I make a bookshelf every episode where I put the books that I talk about. You can shop from those shelves, or you can just shop as normal in the shop. Our shop is at bookshop.org/shop/GGKCS, and we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you shop on Amazon by clicking the link in our show notes, we earn a little money based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Great way to support the podcast by doing something you were going to do anyway. You can find us and all of our links at ggkcs.com. There you'll find links to Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Facebook group, all the places. And with that, I'm going to tell you goodbye. I hope that you are having the best summer possible. I hope you're taking care of yourself and those that you love. I hope you are checking on people who might need just someone to check on, you know, a lonely neighbor, a single friend, someone who's grieving. Check on people. And again, thank you for being with us for the last 10 years. Stay tuned after the credits for an adorable video of Pink Pearl. And until we see you again, happy crafting. We'll talk to you again soon.
Somebody's spying on me. I'm working. And there's somebody under my table. Hi, pretty girl. Sorry, it's not time for Mama to be off work yet. We have an hour and 17 minutes. And then you know what Mama's going to do? Mama's going to go get her free coffee from Starbucks. Yeah, free coffee. Day 2 of 365. Yay, coffee. Hi, baby. Are you a pretty girl? Are you my pretty girl? I love you. I love you.